primary and secondary bond market. To understand how the bond market works, you have to know the difference between a primary bond market and a secondary bond market. The primary bond market refers to the initial transaction when the bond is first issued and the issuer of the bond, the borrower, receives the money. For example, let's say the Federal Reserve issues government bonds in the primary bond market so that the government can pay its bills. The government is the borrower and the buyer of the bond is the investor. The bond contract stipulates the interest that will be paid and the date of maturity, which is the date the initial loan will be repaid. The stipulated interest rate is called the coupon rate. Assume that the current interest rate paid on new bonds is 6%. This is the bond that is sold in the primary market. Once the bond is purchased, then, this bond will be traded in what's called the secondary bond market. It's sort of like you bought a car in the primary market and you're going to sell it in the used car market. So the secondary bond market is after the bond has been purchased in the primary bond market, and then that holder of the bond wants to sell it, and that bondholder sells it in the secondary bond market. The secondary bond market is where one bondholder or investor sells the bond to another investor. The original holder who purchased it in the primary market is now selling it to another investor in the secondary market. The original issuer of the bond in the primary market, which was the Federal Reserve issuing government bonds so the government could pay its bills, doesn't receive any money once that bond is sold and then traded in the secondary market. The money paid for a bond in the secondary market flows from the new bond investor to the investor who was selling the bond. The issuer of the primary bond continues to pay the stated coupon rate to the new bondholder and repays the full value of the bond to investor upon maturity of the bond.